Hello, magnificent human beings. My name is Landon. Welcome to Yoga New Mexico, where we focus on empowerment, alignment, and strength. You are in the right place, capable and strong. So it is time now for your first yoga class. Woo woo. So really, this class is going to be a combination of pretty much everything we just did. I might leave out a couple of things. I might add one or two things, but really it's just kind of, bringing everything we just did together for a full class. Go ahead and grab yourself some water if you need some water, and then maybe a block or a towel as well, and we can get started. So roll out your mat, and I will see you on the mat. Thanks. Okay, so you've got your mat rolled out, you're ready to yoga, and go ahead and find yourself in your easy pose, your crisscross applesauce, whatever you want to call it. Just sit here and relax. So you may notice if you tilt forward a little bit, that might feel better on your back. If you tilt further back, it might feel, a little bit better as well. So really, hands wherever they're comfortable. Go ahead and close your eyes and bring your attention to your breath. Inhales through the nose. Exhales out the nose. Really listening to the sound of your own breath. And forgetting about any worries from your day, forgetting about anything you may have in front of you, just being present right here, right now, on your mat. So go ahead and set an intention for your practice, keeping it something simple, keeping it, just really basic for now, and trying to find a single word, maybe a single image that really, really speaks to you, really resonates with you. So just finding that one simple thing that you can come back to in your practice. Very good. Now that you have that thing, go ahead and we're going to seal our intention. So keeping your eyes closed, let's both just inhale through the nose and exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the nose, exhale out the mouth. Once more, inhale through the nose, inhale, inhale, fill your belly, fill your lungs. Exhale out the mouth. And why not one more just for good measure? Really make it count. Inhale, inhale, fill your belly. And then an audible sigh out the mouth. Excellent work. So go ahead and find yourself in a staff pose. Bring those legs on out in front of you, seeking to have a little bit of an inward rotation of those leg bones, grounding down through your sits bones, fingertips by your sides, roll your shoulders back, spine nice and tall, just a couple of breaths. And in our yoga practice, we want to keep our breath in through the nose, out through the nose for the majority of every posture. Very good. So go ahead and come into your seated forward bend, bringing your feet together if you like. You can inhale your arms up and exhale, fold on down. So as we talked about in our series just before, bending your knees is totally fine to help keep that flat back. And just take 3 breaths here. You inhale, create some space. Exhale allows you to fold down a little bit. Very good. Coming on back into your staff pose. Take that left heel, bring it on in, up towards your groin, and this leg just falls down. If it naturally stays up a little bit, that's okay. Try to sit equally on your sits bones the best you can. Go ahead and inhale your hands on up. Exhale, fold on down. Same thing here, about 3 breaths. If you want to put a bend in that knee, go ahead. But we're aiming for that stretch here in that right hamstring. Release. Coming back up, and then switch out your legs, so staff pose, and then bring the opposite heel, that right heel, on up and in. Allow this leg to drop on out. Inhale, bring your hands on up. Exhale, fold on down. So you'll notice in a lot of your yoga postures that your breath kind of has this gentle tempo, a gentle cadence, if you will. On your inhales, you lengthen and create space, and on your exhales, you fold on down. So you want to kind of refrain from like bouncing in your stretches, because you're adding an element of action to your poses that really shouldn't be there. So just gently inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale, create a little space, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, fold. And release. Come on back. Bring that foot out. Shake it out. Move around. Go ahead and swing your legs around, coming into our tabletop. So in our tabletop, shoulders directly above our wrists, hips above our knees here, fingertips spread wide, and then doing a few cat-cows. So inhale, look up, drop your belly, eye gaze lifts for cow. Exhale, cat, push the earth away from you, round that spine. Inhale, look up, drop your belly, eye gaze lifts. Exhale, cat, push the earth away from you. Inhale, look up, drop your belly, eye gaze lifts. Exhale, cat. Just about 2 or 3 more of these at your own pace. Meeting in a neutral spine. Go ahead and shake it out. Wag your tailbone around a little bit, just getting some movement in that spine. You can draw little circles one way and draw circles the other way. Very good. So if you need a towel or something to put under your knees here as we move into our tiger pose, go right ahead. But otherwise, take that left hand, bring it on out in front of you, And then your right knee, right leg, bring it on out behind you. So holding strong in your tiger pose. Thinking of something fierce, like a tiger, whatever you like. Really engaging that core to keep everything nice and straight. And set it on down. Back into tabletop. Kind of wag things around, move around a little bit. You can flip your hands over here. Kind of stretch out those wrists a little bit whenever you like. Next side, so bring that right hand on out and left leg out behind you. Nice strong tiger pose, breathing steady. Hand comes on down, bring that knee down, shaking it out, moving around. Very good. So now that we've done a little bit of warm-up, let's get into our sun salutations. So go ahead and tuck your toes, walk your hands out just a little bit, and then downward facing dog. Here in your down dog, walking your dog so you can alternate your heels down, feeling that stretch in your calf. Really pushing those fingertips into the mat, focusing on that flat back. Excellent job. So take that left leg, bring it on through into the base of your lunge, and then inhale, hands on, up overhead, crescent lunge. Finding your still eye gaze, your focus on the wall in front of you, hips square with the front, left knee stacked perfectly over that ankle. And if you want to modify, come on down to that back knee. That is totally fine. So wherever you are, a full crescent lunge, modified crescent lunge is perfectly fine. Just a couple more breaths. Bring those hands all the way down to the mat to frame your foot, and then that right foot steps up into forward fold. Relax, just hang in your forward fold. Then inhale into half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Go ahead and take that right foot back for a brief lunge and bring that left leg back, downward facing dog. Excellent work. So now right foot comes on through into that lunge. Bring it on up, full crescent lunge. Remember, in your crescent lunge, you inhale and create space through your torso, but you relax your shoulders down. Very good. Bring those hands down to frame your foot. That left leg, step it up into forward fold. Then you inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Bring it on down. Take that left leg, bring it back for a brief lunge. Hold right here, then downward facing dog. Shift your weight forward into that plank, and it's time for your vinyasa, your chaturanga flow. So however you like, you can modify onto those knees, lower yourself all the way down to the mat, and untuck your toes, or bring those legs down, and then raise on up into that up dog. Squeeze your glutes, protect your low back. And from here, downward facing dog. Very good. Walking hands to feet, feet to hands for forward fold. Just relax. Helping to reset your spine a little bit. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. On your inhale, you're going to come up to standing, but your chin is the last to rise. So stacking vertebrae on top of vertebrae. Hands come on up. Squeeze your glutes. Exhale, very gentle back bend. Let's do this once more. Inhale, hands up. And exhale, slight back bend. Hands stay up overhead. So bring your hands together, interlace your fingers, point your fingers, come out. Heel toe, those feet together, getting set up for our crescent moon. So elongate up through that torso. Bring your hips to the left and then grow up and over to the right. Come on back. Very good. So engage your glutes, lengthen through your torso, hips come to the right and up and over to the left. And coming on back, and just let your arms flop on down by your sides. Relax, shake it out. So go ahead and get a quick sip of water if you like at any time in your yoga practice. If you would like a sip of water, you do not need my permission, so feel free to get a drink whenever you like. So next we're going to come into our back bend here, but a gentle back bend. So hands come onto that low back. Fingertips can be pointed up or down. You can make fists, whatever you like. Heel toe your feet together. Engage your glutes. Roll your shoulders back. Bring your eye gaze up and just pause right here. So find your breath. And coming into your back bend real slow. Every exhale hinging on back. Remember, back bend is also a heart opener. So you inhale that heart up, exhale, hinge back. Inhale it up a little bit, exhale, hinge back. Coming back from your back bend and release everything. Shake it out. Go ahead and fold on down, swan dive if you like. Forward fold, just relax. Getting set up for our hands to feet pose, Padahastasana. So peace sign fingers wrap around those big toes and make sure your feet are hips distance, so measuring with 2 fists in between your feet, fingertips, peace sign fingers, peace. Wrap around your big toes and relax. And if you want, there can be a gentle pull as those arms come out, those elbows come out just a little bit. Release. Heel to those feet together. Roll out your wrists a little bit. And helping to reset your spine, inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your hands onto the mat and step it into downward facing dog. Excellent work. Right foot comes through into that lunge, hands on up overhead, crescent lunge once more. Moving into our warrior series now. So ground down that back heel, open it up into warrior 2. And remember, if you need to inch this forward a little bit so you can still keep your heels in one line and make sure this knee is stacked perfectly above that ankle, please do so. So wherever you are in your warrior is perfectly cool. Arms on out and breathe. Then maybe getting fancy and windmill your hands all the way down to the mat to frame that foot, downward facing dog. And shift your weight forward into plank, taking your chaturanga flow, your vinyasa flow, however you like. So maybe lowering all the way down, raising on up into that up dog, downward facing dog. Next side, so left foot comes on through into the base of that lunge. Hands come up overhead, crescent lunge. Finding that still gaze, that focus on the wall. Then, when you're ready, open it on up into Warrior Two. Making sure those heels are in one line, arms straight on out. I gaze softly over that front hand. And I say softly because you should really relax those muscles in your face. You don't need them here in this posture. So just breathe, just hang out, relax. And then getting fancy as you like, you can windmill your hands all the way down to the mat, downward facing dog. Very good. Shift forward into your plank. You can modify here, doing your modified chaturanga if you wish, lowering halfway down, push it back up, and then coming all the way down to the mat, raising on up into your up dog. And from here, come back into downward facing dog once more. Walking hands to feet, feet to hands. For forward fold, just hang, relax. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And chin is the last to rise. Inhale, inhale, coming all the way up. Hands up overhead, squeeze your glutes. Exhale, let it go. Okay, relax here in standing. Just going to do a couple of standing postures. I know I went over more in the series we just did, but just for now, just 2 in our standing series. So the first one is tree. So this left heel, left foot kind of kickstands there on the inside of that right ankle. Hands on your hips. Square your hips with the front. Left hand maybe helps to push this leg back a little bit. But again, it's kind of the push and pull here. So if this hip starts to come out too far, you want to bring it back. And you really should be able to relax through here and allow this leg to come on back. So just keeping that eye gaze focused and bring that foot up to wherever you like, that inner calf, all the way up into that hip crease if you like, that inner thigh. And hands come on up overhead, growing your branches. Finding your balance, finding your focus, breathe, and always maybe reconnect with that intention. Even if your intention is chocolate bars, it doesn't matter. Just find something to focus and breathe and just keep that determination right here in your practice. And release on down. I mean, I said something simple, right? So, chocolate bar is a simple thing. Sorry if I'm making you laugh while you're trying to balance. It might not be helping. So, but, in your practice, you should be able to laugh and have a good time, because if you're not enjoying what you're doing, then, you might want to look at something else. So, tree pose, opposite side. So this right heel here kind of kickstands, and left hand, left hip, right hand helps to guide this back. Trying to find that push and pull really of, where that hip opening is. So once you've got the base of the posture, staying right here, or bring that foot on up just a little bit. Bringing it up to wherever you went on the other side is perfectly fine. Raising your hands on up because you want a chocolate bar or whatever it may be. That peace, that love, that special intention that you set is perfectly fine. It's really hard to focus right now because all I'm thinking about is chocolate, I have to be honest. Go ahead and release on down here in your standing. Okay, so shake everything out, move around, cha-cha your feet, a little dishwasher if you want. And then standing forehead to knee, but we're gonna do the modified version. So find that balance on your left foot strong into the mat. And remember, you don't wanna walk out or hyperextend that knee, keep it straight, but you wanna, keep that leg nice and strong. So balance is in the left leg. Bring your right knee on up, nice 90-degree angle, and hands come underneath. Interlace those fingers, roll your shoulders back, and stay right here. If you want to amplify, you can bring that leg out, but just staying right here. And release on down. Pedal out your feet, move around a little bit. Again, if you want to get a sip of water at any time, that is perfectly cool. Okay, so next side, right foot strong into the mat. Left leg comes on up and interlace those fingers underneath that leg. Roll your shoulders back and breathe. So everybody's going to be somewhere different in this posture, right? So you might just be here where you're just barely bringing those toes off because you're still trying to find that balance. Could be here, could be here. You could be in the full expression of the posture. But it doesn't matter wherever you are, just stay right here. And the trick in this pose is actually to kind of absorb some of that weight of your leg into your arms. And release on down. Shake it out, move around. Very good. Okay, standing series is over. Let's get down closer to the mat. So bring your hands to heart center here. Inhale, up overhead. Squeeze your glutes. Exhale, let out a sigh. Once more, inhale, hands up overhead. Exhale, louder sigh. Hands come up overhead, and then exhale, swan dive all the way down, forward fold. Very good. Hands on the mat. Step it on back into downward facing dog. And then left knee up to your left wrist for pigeon. Untuck those toes behind you and relax here in your pigeon. So, the tips you need. This knee directly in front of that hip. Back leg is straight. Hips are square with the front. And go ahead and relax on down in your pigeon. Again, if you need a block, well, I can't reach mine, but if you need a block, go ahead and place it underneath your hip here, or you can place it here at the top of your mat so you can relax your forehead down, whatever you like, or you can stack your fists as well. So this is our restorative part of the series. I did hero pose, and I also went over pigeon. And if you want to look at hero again, you can go back to that section specifically. We will not be doing hero in this class, but for now we're just hanging out, relaxing in our pigeon. And restorative postures, it's really easy for our mind to start to wander and go somewhere else. So a few tricks that I've found is, number one, your breath. Always your breath. So really maybe counting to a number up and then counting back down for that number, whatever is going to help you. So And also in our restorative postures, actually, I'll tell you about the next tip on the other side. So wherever you are in your pigeon, go ahead and come back up. Tuck those toes and downward facing dog. Pedaling out your feet here, moving around. Very good. Okay, so right knee this time comes up to the inside of that right wrist. Untuck your back toes. Right knee directly in front of that hip. And hips are square at the front. Go ahead and come on down. Again, if you need a block, switching up your block wherever you need. And although I might be talking and engaging with you at the moment, I really encourage you to just relax. Just hang out on the mat. Just breathe and just relax. So while you're relaxing here in your restorative posture, I'll tell you about the other tip. And the other one is very helpful to me because, you'll often hold a little bit of strength in your hips and kind of like in your groin area and your hamstrings and your glutes in your pigeon, because it almost feels like, oh, if I let go, then I'm just going to explode or I'm going to, fall apart. But really that's the magic of it, though, is that you kind of do release and relax more. So just right now, we'll still be here for at least 10, maybe 15 more breaths. So right now, close your eyes, keep with your breath, and going into your body, try to see if you're actually holding any tension anywhere. Maybe it's in your glutes or your hamstrings or your hips or your quads, or maybe down in your calf or this foot back here. Whatever it is, release it, relax, dissolve, just breathe. Come back up. So, oftentimes coming out of the restorative pose is the most intense part. So, if it is intense, I encourage you to make whatever noise you want. Just yell, scream, sigh. Coming on back into your downward facing dog. Very good. Shift forward into your plank pose. This is the last plank of class, I promise. And lower on down onto your stomach. Untuck your toes and bring your hands down along beside you. You can place your chin on the mat, your left ear, your right ear, whatever you like. And really, we're just breathing, relaxing. You might notice how those full belly breaths into the mat actually create space in your low back. So as you inhale and you push your belly into the mat, it actually takes this arc out of your low back a little bit and helps alleviate some of that tension. Bring your hands on up, getting set up for our baby cobra. So I went over a few low back strengthening postures. I'm just going to do 2 here. So our baby cobra, fingertips up here by your pecs, roll your shoulders back, elbows glued in at that side body, eye gazes forward, and then inhale, coming on up. So you lift your hands, squeeze those glutes, keep with your breath. Tops of the feet pressed into the mat. And Lower on down. Very good. Now it's time for our Superman pose, our full locust. So bring those hands on out behind you. Separate your feet a little bit if you like. And then inhale. Raise on up. Your Superman pose. Legs, lifts, arms, lift, chest, lift. Keep with your breath here. Very important. Again, you may only be lifting up just a tiny bit because of that low back, but wherever you are, stay with it. Couple more breaths. Flying here in your Superman pose. Maybe dodge a cloud or two. You've got it. And release. Relax. So place those hands next to you, and to alleviate a little bit of that tension in your low back, go ahead and push it all the way back into child's pose. Again, arms can be out in front of you, they can be behind you, whatever you like. Very good. And go ahead and just come onto your side. And then from your side, coming onto your back into your first shavasana. If you want to get a quick drink of water before this, perfectly fine. Pinky up. Gotta be fancy. Okay, so relaxing here in your shavasana. Just a couple of breaths before we move on to any of our pre-shavasana poses. Inhale, really big belly. Exhale, relax. Inhale, exhale, and relax. So identify that right knee, bring it on up, and interlace your fingers, the top of that shin, and squeeze that knee on in for our wind removing. Remember, relax your ankles, relax your feet, relax everything but your biceps. Squeeze that knee in, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Again, you're aiming to squeeze towards that midline. It's going to change the pinch in your hip just a little bit, but that's actually what we're aiming for. So, and gently release. Bring it on down. Regular shavasana, very good. Both knees come on up. Hands at the top of those shins. And release on down. Shake it out, move it around. Okay, so last portion of our wind removing pose. Left knee comes on up. Squeeze that knee in, squeeze that knee in. This is the last portion. And release. Come on down. Bob your knees, move around, shake it out. Okay, so our final pose, well, we'll do two more. So next pose is bridge. So bring those hands down beside you, bring those shoulder blades in, and bring your knees on up. Coming into your bridge pose, inhale, lift those hips. So you may only lift your hips this far. You may lift them higher, higher, higher. Wherever you are is perfectly fine. So bring them on up. Remember, inhales, that belly comes on up. And refrain from looking left or right in your bridge. Just keep your eye gaze straight up. And release on down. Excellent. So, since your knees are bent, bring your feet closer together. The soles of your feet come together and your knees drop on out into your gentle pose, your butterfly. Hands relax wherever you like. And lastly, release on down into your final shavasana. So once more, as we just talked about in our series here, in your final shavasana, you want to let those feet come on out. Maybe picking yourself up just a little bit so you can mellow out that curve in your low back and lifting up your skull, taking out the curve a little bit from that neck and just relaxing in your shavasana. So close your eyes, focusing on that breath. And some of the tricks that we used in our yoga practice today to help keep us focused are the same things we'll use here. So maybe you come back to your intention, be it chocolate bars, be it peace, be it love, be it relaxation, whatever it is, bringing that intention back to mind. Maybe you count, so on your inhales, you inhale through your nose for 1, 2, 3. Gentle exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Slow exhale, don't let your air rush out. 3, 2, 1. Maybe scanning your body real quick to see if there's any residual strength or tension that you're holding anywhere. Releasing, relaxing that. And gently reminding yourself that you're already relaxed. You just have to kind of reconnect with it and find it. So taking as many more breaths here in your shavasana as you would like, or if you like, gently coming back up to a seated position, but take your time. Move your wrists around, move your ankles around, move your neck, your head back and forth. But eventually, coming back up to that seated position. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. So that really is a yoga class. Really cut and dry. I mean, we went through basically all the same postures we did in the explanation from the video series. So yeah, thank you so much for being here, for going through this whole process, this journey with me. If you have not done so already, please subscribe. I have episodes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So thanks again, and as always, you are an amazing human being. You are in the right place, capable and strong. Namaste.